What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything. In this video we're having a look at some tights from Nike. More specifically, we're looking at the Pro Cool 3/4 tights for men. This comes in exciting blue, there's a grey version available as well, and there's also a black version if that is more your kind of style. Now the first thing to get out of the way is that they are really tight tights. That might sound like a given, but you can tell that this is not a particularly large piece of fabric. Especially not for a man. I'm about 6'1", over 200 pounds, so I'm not a small guy, but this is the extra large version already. There's one size bigger, the double XL, but you can imagine that the normal large, the medium and the small are tiny pieces of fabric, and I don't really see how that works for men in general, unless you're really talking about extremely small men maybe. But that's something to get out of the way right away. It is very tight. So if you're buying this, you might want to go a size bigger than you usually go when it comes to tights.
Now obviously the problem with tights as tight as these is your underwear. As you can see, your underwear rolls up quite badly when you put these tights on. So you have to rummage around inside in order to get it all straightened out, because otherwise it looks kind of weird if you're just wearing the tights. But it's also uncomfortable because you have this big sort of ridge of fabric here. Now on the other side, I've done it properly, as you can see, but they're so tight that you can even still see the lines of my boxer shorts all the way around, and it's the same here in the back. I suppose as a guy you're not going to wear any thongs when you go to the gym, or I would assume not, but I'll be happy to hear if that's incorrect. So yeah, it's something to take into consideration that your underwear really shows through.
This is the Pro Cool version. Which means they are designed to keep you cool during your sports activity. That means that the whole tights are made of a dry fit fabric, which Nike, I wouldn't say is famous for, but Nike does that pretty well. Designed to get the moisture, the sweat and the heat away from your skin, away from your body, through the fabric and out into ventilation. To aid that further, you can maybe tell, it's probably easy to show you on the grey one, that there is separate fabric here in the crotch and groin region, same thing here on the front, and that actually goes all the way down the inside of the legs, all the way down to the bottom of the tights, obviously to further aid cooling, ventilation and so on. Does this work? No. I can be pretty clear about that, especially because the pants are so tight, you're gonna start sweating in these pretty quickly. Which is no problem in itself, but dry fit, ventilation, wicking away sweat from your skin and so on. Let's say it works for half an hour, and then you're just sweating so much that the pants can't handle it anymore, and the effect really doesn't work that way anymore. So especially when you're going for the grey version, expect, especially when you're wearing just the tights, expect large sweat stains around the crotch and groin area, also the back of the knees, because they go, they're 3/4 pants, so they just go over your knees. The whole sort of glute area, let's put it that way. There will be a lot of sweating, and the dry fit, I wouldn't say it feels wet, so maybe that's more the thing of the dry fit, that it doesn't feel very sweaty, but there will be big stains, it'll soak up a bit of sweat. But after that, it just gets saturated, so you just sweat in the pants, like you would with any other kind of pants, really. With the black version it might not be such an issue, but you can imagine that with the grey version especially, you want to wear something over it probably. Unless you're not concerned about that, that's fine too. There's nothing much to see in terms of design. There's a little Nike patch here on the back. Obviously it says Nike Pro on the elastic belt, which is tight, but not extremely tight. The elastic, keeps it in place, I suppose, but the tights itself are, tight enough that you wouldn't even need a waistband at all. And there is a little, you can see that better on this one, Nike logo on the bottom of one of the legs, and that's really all there is to see design-wise. They're so tight, to go back to that, they could even go for compression tights, which is something they're not per se designed to do. But if you're a weightlifter or you go through a leg session or something in the gym, they are actually so tight that they offer a tiny bit of support and a tiny bit of extra compression on your muscles, especially your thighs and your glutes, that you get a little bit of extra maybe bounce out of it, but don't expect any miracles, because it's not powerlifting gear and the fabric is too thin to provide any real support, but you get the idea. Because they're so tight, you get that slight compression feel. Coming back to the fabric, 100% polyester, which is fine. If you want cotton tights, obviously look elsewhere. But it makes it super lightweight. They're only 113 grams, which you hardly notice that you're wearing, except for the tightness. They're not cheap, but they're not very expensive either. So if you're into tights, if you're a runner, maybe if you want to get a little bit of extra warmth sort of in between seasons when you're doing something outside, and you want to wear these under some shorts or some other pants, great pair of tights. Make sure the size is right. Like I said, you probably want to go one size up, so they're not too tight on you, depending on what you want to use them for example. But in general, pretty good tights, nothing spectacular, but good value. They keep up in the laundry pretty well as well. So, no complaints there. The color stays pretty solid, and all in all, they're nice and comfortable, do exactly what they need to do, and they're from Nike, so you can expect good quality. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the Nike Pro Cool 3/4 tights for men. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!